What about using existing details? Because you might have some things from manufacturer libraries. This happens all the time, that you have existing DWG or DXF drawings.
Yeah.
You need to know how to use them for documentation, add them to a library maybe. So how does that work?
Okay, so let's just add one of those. We already have a few downloaded from a manufacturer's website. So to understand how you can create 2D details and how you can reference them and how you can import them into your drawings and to create something like this out of them. So those are, in our case, those are DWG files. So what we will do, we will just go to the file and import DWG, but I actually already have that folder opened on this here. And sorry, it appears...
yes, it should be appearing again.
It appears here. So this was this drawing that I used before. You cannot see it on the screen now, but I'm dragging here. It's from the the file manager.
When it opens up, you have to decide on the AutoCAD unit interpretation.
We already talked about that. You can import it, and the first thing that you do once you open the DWG file to check the size, and if it's not correct, you can re-import it or you can rescale that. Now we already imported it, so we know the scaling is 1:100. So when I do that, I just say okay. And now I have this drawing here. It appears as next to this one. So it's obviously large. I can rescale that. But the whole point for this is that this is kind of a drawing that I can customize. I can add hatchings. I can just remove parts, or I can just shrink it, make a copy, and paste it into my drawing and stitch it together with my own
Please show
drawings.
us two examples. One is that how do you add a customized hatch pattern to it, and the other one is how you make this into a library element for later use. So you don't have to like manually drag them in every time, but you can add it to your library. Okay,
so well, let's just make a few changes. I just don't need this and this, for example, and then I just would like to add my custom hatch. At the bottom, this should be something like that should be soil, for example. And then I just select that. This part should be referenced as a soil, and well, the pattern is too dense.
So what do you do then?
So I just change the density to something.
But don't forget that now you are not changing a global setting, right?
No,
so
not at
you
all.
are just changing
local
things on this individual level.
Yeah, so I'm fine with this. So if I would like to save this as my own custom detail, or I can do the same with this. I can just select this part and turn it into a 2D group. Let me just also show you that. I just copied this part with the hatchings and things like that. Just zoom in, and I would like to select this, this, and this. So I just control copy, and this actually is something similar to this, just in smaller, and it's like that. So I can just remove parts and just save this as a detail. Okay, so how to save it for future use? I just select that and go to the group, and instead of creating a local group, which is also fine if you just don't want to handle them line by line, you just select that, Control G, that's for creating a local group, and then you can handle it, and then you can just rotate it, move it, transform it the way you want, and then you can still explode it back. But this won't save it as a library item. You won't find them with the name. So if you would like to do that, you just go and save a group into a library, and then you set up all those reference points that you would like to use when you would like to place, and then you can name it and you can save it in a category, and then it will just fall into the
So that's how you use external drawings. One thing regarding that, what about external reference if you want to use that?
Well, if you work together with other professionals working on perhaps details, because that's their own profession to set up the plumbings and things like that, all those details, you don't have to import the drawing, and then when they make changes through everything that you created and import it again, you can externally reference that drawing. You just need to go to the tools, external reference, import from project. You can actually also import from another project file if you work with your own files, or you can just go here and select a DWG file. Let's just go with the second one, and let's just open that. The difference between this and the other one will be that it's imported the same way, but when that happens, this you cannot select. You can reference it, you can trace it, but you cannot use it by default because it's just a reference to a drawing which can be changed, and from time to time when it changes it can be updated using the external reference manager. So now I know that one of my colleagues that were working on this drawing, it's just a link to that drawing. I can see the changes, and when I click on reload, and when I click OK, I will see the changes appearing automatically, because then it's reloaded.